Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I am coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. We're continuing our career on as we try and rebuild a company in a hard mode again. As you know, we ended up losing the first retry and now we've got this one. So we took our first load in our Volvo, which did very well. One moment please, I need to clear my nose. Okay, so we have a company of sorts. We have a medium-sized garage. We have one driver driving a Renault Premium. I did not rest after the last load because, well, it didn't take too long to do. So we're just going to try and jump right in real quick and see what else we can take. There's not much we can take here. Obviously, the best run would be this one, the margarine. At least in price per distance. So I'm guessing that is the trailer we are going to take. And look, it looks like an American-style trailer. Look at that. It only has 2 axles with double wheels on the back rather than the traditional European tri-axle trailer, which I honestly think is better. The tri-axle trailer is a little more stable because it has the extra wheel. And it actually uses less did I take the job? Yes, I did. Okay. Must be because it's here. That's the only thing I can think of, is that I'm already where it's at. Yep. Convenient. Well, I might just be able to back right to it from here. Okay, not quite. But close. A little bit more volume in my ear so I can hear what I'm doing. You see, we've taken very little stamina out, so hook them up. Alright, this should go really easily. It's a lightweight trailer, comparatively. And again, with the Volvo, we start with a big, powerful 460 horsepower engine. So we are all good to roll. Come on, light. Any day now. There we go. We all know this traffic feeling, don't we? So, I guess not a whole hell of a lot to talk about. Not much has been going on in my personal life. Not much has changed. Over the weekend, things have been quiet. So, yeah. Oh, come on, really? Get a look at our purple truck, the trailer, and sunroof. It is more traditional style, although they're set further apart. And of course, we're going to get a red light. But you can see they're spread wider apart, but we still have the double wheeled axles. I'm faster. Boy. Stop, go, man. Oops. It's okay. I was actually surprised when I went to buy a truck and found out that the only dealership I had passed was a Renault. Again, I'd have been okay. Like I said, if I could have bought a Renault Magnum, I'd have just run with that. But no, you can't buy that till you're level 10. Ugh. I still gotta be honest, though. I'm looking for a truck simulator that's more involved. And I know that, actually, believe it or not, that these games are really hard to make. Because you got to get the licensing permission from all of the companies involved. If you can't, like Mercedes, then you got to rename them into something like Majestic. There's just all kinds of little things that can change and really kind of ruin your, making the game. But I'd still like a game that has a little bit more depth to it. Now, you may ask at that point, well, how do you put more depth in a driving simulator? Especially one about trucks. Well, in all due honesty, it's not that difficult. In concept, let me clarify that. It's not that difficult in concept. Implementing it, that's hard. First off, as a new truck driver, you're probably going to end up going to work for a company. You're not going to independent out to other companies. For the simple thing of, oh, here, we got a load for you to drive, and here's a truck, here's a trailer, go. No. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but it's more likely you're just going to go and you're going to start working for a company. And then from there, you may transition over to an independent driver. I'm not sure how everything works, to be honest, because I've never been through it, but I have a general idea. Now, when you do go independent, one of the first things that you won't do is buy a new truck. No. Your truck's going to be used, whether you buy it off another truck driver or you buy it from a dealer. You're not going to buy a brand new truck first thing. You're going to buy a used truck. And it's probably going to be an older truck. Even as far back as the 70s, there's still lots of old rigs on the road. And they're being driven by truckers who either just love them because they're their trucks, or they're being driven by truckers that are driving them because that's what they could afford and that's what they're upkeeping. You take I don't know how many people will get to how many people have seen this movie. I've seen it and I actually kind of like it. And that's the movie Over the Top, Sylvester Stallone, about the arm wrestling truck driver. Yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, I pretty much just threw you for a loop on that one. Having a little trouble with my voice today. I'm not sure why. It may have something to do with allergies bothering me. It could have something to do with my left ear is trying to become infected, and I'm trying to prevent it from doing so. But either way, I'm having a minor problem with my voice. So, anyways, the truck that he was driving, um, through the whole show was an old, I forget what type. I'd actually have to go back and look. I think it may have even been a Mack, but it was an old truck. It was, 70s, 80s. It was an old truck. And, that's all he could drive. And when he traded it in to basically get money to bet on himself, the dealer that he took it to could only give him like 10,000 for it, for a truck. That's not a hell of a lot of money, all things considered. And that's kind of what you're going to have to deal with as a starting truck driver. No bank is just going to go out and give you a loan without something, and unless you have really good credit and you're borrowing a hell of a lot of money and you're buying a truck, no bank's going to just come out and loan you that money. That's just how it is. So I'd like to see one where you go to a dealership and the first trucks you buy are used. That'd be so much more fun. You buy a used truck, it gets mileage on it. It's an older truck. Have older trucks in the game. Maybe you just want to stick with an older truck. You want to upgrade it. But how much stuff you'd have to put in the game, because you'd have to get the truck correct, and then you'd have to get the engines and whatnot. But then again, you wouldn't have to go too far. You could implement the basics, and in a game like this, the modding community could easily take over, The modding community for Euro Truck is huge. Ugh, my nose again. Okay. So, yeah, there's that. My dog's a little aggressive tonight. They're doing something with some of the roosters outside. I think it's the roosters at least. We got a lot of roosters around the yard, and chickens, and they may be giving them away to somebody, giving some of them away because there's too many. And catching them's not easy, but when you do, of course, they make a massive ruckus. So, it's got my little dog all up in arms. But it's all good. I really prefer to travel in the middle lane. Prefer to travel in the middle lane because if I need to switch over to get off the highway fairly quick, I can. And if I need to, move outward into the outer lane, it's easier. And being in the middle lane is a little bit more reasonable because as a truck, you're supposed to be in the right lane. You are. But because this game's highways are just not set up properly, you really can't do that. When you're driving along and the lane that you're in suddenly becomes an off-ramp, no, that's not good. Now, it's a minor gripe in this game because, again, you can defeat it by, a perfect example. Whoop, right there. That's just not how it should be. But that's how they set it up. Let's see, I don't think I need my lights anymore. But yeah, it would be easy for the modding community to take over with proper engine sounds, proper engines, transmissions. I think it would make more sense and be more fun. But that's just my personal feel about it. That's not, you know, it by in no means makes this a bad game. You know, it's a really good game. It's one of the best driving simulators out there as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's beautiful, even on lower settings, which I have to record. I have to lower my settings to record. So it's very beautiful, and there's a great modding community for it, which I said earlier. And it's very realistic in many respects. So I don't know why I always have trouble with these corners. I mean, I take them extra wide on purpose, and I really didn't have to with this trailer, but still. I think one of the main problems with that kind of intersection, you know how they can get clogged up and how annoying they get when they get clogged up? I think one of the main issues is that they give the cars coming down the off-ramp the right of way. The cars coming off the off-ramp have the right of way, and the cars on the road have to let them pass, which to me sounds really backwards. I don't know if it's really like that or not in Europe, but I really feel like a lot of that issue could be changed if you gave the cars on the road the right of way and the cars coming down the off-ramp had to stop and wait their turn. Then you would not really have that congestion. But that's just my personal feelings on it. I really did like the big Volvo FH, the truck that we're driving here, when it first came out. It's a really good truck. I love the look inside and the feel. It's really good. Like I said, I just kind of feel like I'm cheating with all this power when I start. That's why there's a good chance that I may not stick with this truck. At some point, I will change. I can't even say may not. I'm not going to. At some point, I will change this truck for another one. I'll buy another one, and I'll use that, and I'll be swapping trucks around as I get more of them. But that's really going to take time because we're under a hard mode mod. So it's just really going to take time. But I'm hoping that with our new driver and doing things the right way this time, that it'll pay off doing it that way. Alright, so there's a question mark over there. Now I'm not sure what that question mark is, and I'm not going to go find out now, but before leaving the town I should probably try and find out. Back it up. This is not an extra long trailer, so I need to focus a little bit more. Nice solid back in. Did we just... I think we just made level 4. Yay! Now, normally I'd open up just-in-time delivery so that I have all the bonuses open, but in this case I'm going to go with another point in long distance. I think that's just a smarter move. No. Well, this is going to be one of those fun ones to get out of, isn't it? Yep, it is. This is where the game starts getting, to me, too annoying. And so I play it unfair. Alright, quick repair. Make sure everything's on the up and up. If you notice that you don't see pedestrians, I finally turned them off. They're more annoying than anything else in the game, really. Alright, time for a rest. Yay, rain. Okay, so let's just see. Some lower grills, some bull bars, some top bars, to which we have no interest. Well, yeah, no. We're fine the way we are right now. Let's see what our next load will be next time. From here. Wow. We are not doing too well, are we? We are not doing well at all because, you know, look at all this interesting stuff we could tow. Look at it. Look at all the interesting stuff we could tow. And this is what we can tow. Frozen food or olive oil. And obviously, we'll be taking the olive oil. It's a slightly bigger trailer. It's a little bit heavier, but it pays $4,700 versus $32 at almost $2 more per kilometer. This one's a no-brainer. But that's going to be me done for this episode, folks. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time, this is going to be One Big Bug. I will be signing out. I'll see you next time.